I've been looking over numbers today. It's funny because here we are. It's the end of the night. The games are all in the books, and I was gonna do this, and then the games had already started. So I thought, well, geez, I'm gonna wait. And then there was stuff going on with the kids too. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do this after, and then I'll do my review of tonight's games after this. In terms of review, spoiler alert, everything seemed to want to go to a shootout or overtime. Everything. So 3-point games for everybody. Nobody's below 500. Welcome to Canada. Now, when you look at the standings, now these are now not 100%. So New Jersey has now jumped past Washington because they've played less games. Winnipeg has jumped past St. Louis. And San Jose has jumped past Calgary. But this is where they stood on the 1st of November. So after the games November 1st, and this is the record since November 1st. Tampa's been very consistent. 10-2-1 before, 15-5-1 since. Toronto, very consistent as well. 8-5-0 before, 13-9-1 since. Boston, 4-3-3 on the 1st of November, 14-7-2 since. So while people say, oh, he's in favor of Boston for biased reasons, Boston's got a very good record, and they showed it again tonight. I'll get to that in a bit. Montreal was 4-7-1. They've been 11-8-3 since. Detroit 6-6-1, 7-8-6 since. And you think about it, if they could have won some of those overtime games, Detroit would be ahead of Montreal and threatening Boston for that third spot. It's been just a rough ride for Florida. 2 games below 500 before, 1 game below 500 since. And, of course, famously, Ottawa's gone from 5-2-5 as of November 1st. They've been 6-12-3 since. Buffalo, it's just misery. 3-7-2 before, 5-12-5 since. The Metro, and this is what shows how the divisions are starting to separate themselves. So this is the Atlantic, this is the Metro, and look at the difference. 5-6-1 before, 17-6 since then. Washington's been on an incredible tear since November 1st. 9-2-0 for New Jersey before, 11-7-5 since. Big win for them tonight, though. Columbus, 8-4-0 before, 13-9-2 since then. The Rangers, 4-7-2 before, 15-5-2 since. The Islanders, 7-4-1 before, 11-9-3 since, and the Islanders have to be looking behind them because the Flyers were 6-6-1, now they're 9-6-6. Those, again, overtime losses make a huge difference here. If you can win those ones rather than lose them, you're better for yourself in the standings. Philly would be in a playoff position. Pittsburgh, 8-5-1 before, 10-10-2 now. They evened that record tonight with the shootout win over Columbus. And finally, Carolina, 4-4-2 before, 11-8-5 since then. So, with the win tonight for Pittsburgh, no team in the Metro has had more regulation losses than wins since November 1st. Whereas in the Atlantic, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that do. 4. Now we get to the Central. Nashville was 5-5-2. They've been 16-4-2 since, and that's including the loss they took tonight. St. Louis was 10-2-1 before. They've been 12-11-1 since, and there has to be some concern in St. Louis. Winnipeg, 6-3-2 before, 14-7-4 since. Chicago, 6-5-2. They've been 11-6-3 since. They had a chance tonight to get closer, and they fell back, but they've still got a very good record. Minnesota's clawing their way back in. They were 4-4-2. They've been 14-9-1 since November 1st. Dallas, 7-5-0. They've been 12-9-3 since November 1st. And Colorado, 10-10-3. They were 6-5-0 before. So, again, you look at the Central, nobody's been below 500 since November 1st. Even the aforementioned Colorado Avalanche, who've managed to be 10-10-3. Let's get to the Pacific. 14-5-2 is the record of the Vegas Golden Knights since they were 8-3 on November 1st. LA, 9-2-1. They've been 13-8-3 since. They are first place right now. Calgary, 6-6-0. They've been 12-8-3 since. San Jose, 7-5. 11-6-4 since then. This is another. If only they could have won games in overtime. If only they'd stop clutching, grabbing losses from the jaws of victory. 6-5-1 before, 9-8-7 since. Vancouver 6-4-2 before, 9-12-3 since then, with the overtime loss tonight. And Edmonton 3-7-1 on November 1st. They've been 13-10-1 since. This 3-game winning streak is definitely allowing them to get to the point where they can bounce past Vancouver with one more win combined with a loss in regulation for Vancouver, and they can get themselves into this conversation. And finally, Arizona. They were 1-11-1 on November 1st, and they've been 6-13-4 since then. And we discuss how they're getting better. At times, I discuss how they're getting. I want to see them get better, but 4 of those 6 wins were within 10 games. That's not great. So there you go. It's just a little thing I looked at. 2 teams have been below 500 in the Pacific, combined with the 4 teams here. So there's 6 teams out of 31 that have been below 500 since November 1st. This is what makes the whole power rankings thing so dicey because, yeah, nobody is below 500 right now, and yet there's teams still falling behind because that's what 3-point games do. So let me know what you guys think. Which of these results is most surprising to you? And I think what surprises me is that really hasn't changed that much since November 1st. There are some teams like Nashville and Washington that have turned it around, in Boston. But for the most part, where we saw things November 1st, it's moved, but not as much as I think a lot of people expected it might. I mean, and Pittsburgh's drop has been as much to do with the strength of that division as anything else. But let me know what you guys think. Oh, Pittsburgh's passed Philly tonight, too. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're just browsing your way through and wondering what's going on. And, yeah, so this is just a fun chart I made up today, because I had no idea how this was going to turn out. I just thought, let's take a look at it and see who's surprising, who's on their way up, who's on their way down, and who's kind of sitting still. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe, because we're almost up to 25,000. I've started working on the graphic for it, too. That video is there's going to be a 25,000 video when we get there. And thank you guys for all the likes, all the shares, and all the comments. It all adds up, and it all helps the channel grow. I'll talk to you again soon.